I was recording about my experiences with miniature painting, and unfortunately the video was cut. So I'm not sure where I got to, so I'm just going to start again. Oh, this is Monty in the Bay Area, in case you're wondering. Yes, really, gosh, no YouTube shots whatsoever. So, I've been using Frontline for about a year now. They've painted a number of miniatures for me already. In general, I think they do what they say on the packet, right? They've got a lot of miniature painters. On YouTube, there are a bunch of other studios that exist, but none of them have the number of painters and really the respect. I mean, let's call it what it is. There are other painting studios, some of them are no longer, I think, in business in this country, that tried to create what Frontline created, but just failed to because there were various internal structural issues. I have a breadth of knowledge which I don't necessarily use professionally, but you can certainly identify certain characteristics of people, subtle characteristics of these people, which indicate what would make good painting studios and what would make not particularly good painting studios. So I'm going to draw a veil over that when I said about that. But yeah, my perspective is that I have a shape in my hand, which you probably see in these videos. I'm not a particularly good painter, but I really do enjoy giving the opportunity to pay people to paint. So for the past year, I've been using both Frontline and let's see, this thing might have another broken one in it. We'll just get them out carefully. And a few other individuals, some from Putty and Paint, just a variety of different sources, to get a sense of what this miniature painting thing is. And really, I hate to say kind of conclusion because I found a bunch of other things that I'd like to have painted, but this is one of the concluding aspects of this thing. Wow. Wow. Hmm. 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 I wonder how they did this one. This one must have broken off or something. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, this is we're looking to get a house in the UK. A couple of houses here in the US. Looking to get one in the UK. So I'm cutting back a lot of my extraneous spending. So yeah, the miniature painting thing is going to be something that is going to be cut back. But I've got enough experience for now that I can certainly show the putty and paint stuff. I've got like 1 1/3 commissions out still through putty and paint, but I've got a majority of stuff back, and I have enough that I can certainly do reviews of the kind of professional painters, the really high-end professional painters that you'll get through putty and paint. And these are folk that, you know, hundreds of euros a figure. So it's good to get a sense of what you get for your money, since there's nothing online that actually shows this. And yeah, I actually think it's an industry that has, I wouldn't even really necessarily call it an industry, but it's a group of artists where if you get good work, you can get exceptional work, and if you get bad work, you're really just throwing money at the wall. So I don't know whether these videos, I don't think the videos will win me many friends and admirers as I put them online, but I would like to put some videos online to honestly give an account of my experiences. And this whole thing started, this new interest in getting miniatures painted professionally once again, came through a conclusion of a podcast, actually, very similar to the start of this YouTube channel, called Attic Aficionados. And I filmed going up into the attic and finding a bunch of Kirill Kenevs. Look at these. These are just beautifully done. I got so much love for well-painted, you know, tabletop plus, that's what they call this, infantry. And these are just beautifully done. So slowly but surely getting these guys out and wrapping them. This is what it's all about for me. It's about well-painted infantry. So yes, I'm going through some kind of dilemma in some regard, moving from high-end individual figure painters to good quality army painters and all this kind of stuff. And I wanted to put it online so folks can talk and see and create discourse and dialogue and all the stuff that I enjoy doing. I'm actually going to pack these miniatures up and give an opportunity to show how I pack these guys up. I use KR multicase, which is what this is being filmed on, and I have a very particular packing style for these kind of Imperial Guard figures, having packed a lot of them. And I have a kind of strange rotate and displace style, if you could even call it that, just to try and get them in. These ones I put in like this. I have so many Steel Legion. When I was in the UK, purchasing a box of Steel Legion was a kind of cathartic thing that I did maybe, once a month. And I actually started painting them. This one is a broken one, unfortunately, I moved that side. So I have some that I started painting, and then I passed on to a gentleman called Fred Reed, who was an amazing, amazing painter. So I'm going to move these guys up here and just to the side. So I continue to unwrap. So there's a whole bunch of the same figure. I'll move that broken guy over. So yeah, I've got a lot of love for Steel Legion. I've got a lot of love for the infantry in general. Okay, so that looks like a tank weapon. I'm just trying to make my way through the final set of the infantry. So yeah, employing individual painters is very different. I mean, that's one of the things that I actually really thoroughly enjoy about Frontline Service, is that they have a crop of painters. It's all very uniform. You don't have to deal with, you've got Jason the admin. You've got to work with Jason. There's no option but to work with Jason. But aside from that, you don't have a lot of the nonsense that you will encounter. When you hire painters individually, I have one case with a particular gentleman who, he broke up with his girlfriend. So for 6 months he was sending me woeful emails associated with why he couldn't paint. Now this is a gentleman who I've met, and I'll talk a little bit more about my experience with him maybe in another video. But you have all these curious interactions with people associated with getting basically a task done. And I employ people to work on the house and stuff like that, so I have a general sense of working with people. But you get an intimacy which you may not necessarily want to have when you're just commissioning people to paint miniatures, but they are artistes. And what's interested me actually is that's one of the changes that's happened in the past 15 years associated with this thing, is that you're now very much dealing with artistes. They're artists and they have a very particular perspective and these kind of things. And sometimes that's nice, but sometimes it's very removed from actually getting a piece of quality. And there's a huge risk associated with commissioning individual painters. I mean, particularly high-end painters where you're paying them, hundreds of dollars a figure, which is very curious because you start to wonder. So all the bull ogre have come through perfectly. My hope is just that one single breakage. And that would be truly, truly amazing. So I'm just looking at this other stuff to try to work out what else is here. Oh, of course, this is the big gun. Okay, so I've got just a small amount more of the little guys to unwrap, and then we get to the super heavy tank, and I might have to reposition everything for that. So things are looking very good so far. Just one breakage, and a whole bunch of content recorded.